Okay, I got the microphone now.
Did everybody sign in? You guys are not signing in?
Yeah, I heard about that. Didn't know.
They were one is from here and the other one is from.
Roughly quiet. Hoping that their bridge would get stuck out in the up position. Hoping the bridge, yes. Oh no, you should kiss him, really. It's not fair if you don't do this. You're not equal. Yeah. No, you want some other.
Is this okay, or am I in the way? Okay. Oh,
Want to trade seats?
I think we better trade seats. Yeah, it'll get beamed directly to the White House.
Everybody wants it, that's not what it is. Yeah. Up with the good, down with the bad. Yep, same thing. People turn to you last week.
Where's my hanger? It doesn't show any place in the car. Oh, yeah. Take care of my wife.
the order, this commission of the whole meeting of the Veterans Assistance Commission of Will County, Tuesday, September 13th. Time is 6:10. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stand for the innovation of President Kaplan.
Heavenly Father, thank you for guiding everybody through this meeting tonight safely. Please give us the wisdom to make proper and just decisions for those whom we serve. Amen.
Amen.
Can we get a roll call of the executive board?
President Jack Bidwell,
Present.
Secretary Denise Williams, President Sergeant at Arms Samantha Cook,
Here.
Chaplain Jim Singer,
Here.
Member Tom Millman,
Here.
Member Janet Clue,
Here.
Member Steve Beneke,
Here.
Past Chair Victor Martinka, excused. Past Chair John York, excused. Past Chair Wayne Horn.
Present.
Can I get a roll call of the commission, please?
I will call out the name of the Veteran Service Organization and the member that is here, the delegate or alternate that is here. Please announce yourself. AL 12059 Caroline, Jim Singler.
I'm here.
AL 2000 Mokina. AL 1977 New Lenox. AL 1291 Crete. AL 1200 Monique.
Here.
AL 1080 Joliet. AL 935 Manhattan.
Robert Eckell here.
AL 521 Stager. AL 392 Piatone.
Excused.
Is there no one here for the
The alternate couldn't make it either.
AL 241 Joliet Buffalo Soldiers? AL 191 Wilmington. AL 52 Romeoville.
Here.
AL 39 Braidwood. AL 18 Lockport. AL 13 Plainfield.
Here.
VFW 9545 New Lenox. VFW 8283 Stager. VFW 5917 Bolingbrook. VFW 5788 Lockport.
Present.
Who?
Keith Hurley.
Thank you, Keith. VFW 5819 Lamont. Do we have anyone present? VFW 5422 Wilmington. VFW 2199 Stone City. VFW 1493 Frankfurt.
Here.
VFW 725 Mokina. VFW 367 Joliet Cantini.
Jim Clausen, alternate.
Ted, first timer, Jeff. All right, thank you and welcome. We'll now move on to our public comment. Is there anyone who would like to address the commission? If so, please approach the podium, state your name. 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Kirk Allen, and I notice you have on your agenda that you're going to adopt a public comment policy, so you don't have a 3-minute time limit.
You have a 3 minutes.
Excuse me?
We are still using Robert Rules of Order.
Robert's rule says nothing about 3 minutes.
Your opinion. Please talk.
Cite the page. We've already been through this.
Okay.
At the last meeting, you revoked my right to speak. You claimed my opinion was wrong then. I was speaking to the Pledge of Allegiance, the last 3 words, justice for all. And you said I had to speak to what was on the agenda. Pledge of Allegiance was on the agenda, as was public comment. I will read from the Attorney General's opinion on this matter. This office, which is the AG, notes that although a public body must limit its discussion during a special meeting to the items on the agenda, OMA imposes no such limitation on public comment during special meetings, meaning I can speak to anything relating to this public body regardless of whether it's on the agenda or not. You were wrong, and I would appreciate an apology on that, because you took away my right to speak. You shut me down. You silenced the veteran. I don't know if this is on your agenda for tonight. Well, actually, I know it's not on the agenda, but on the table is an attorney-client fee agreement. This agreement is between the attorney and the Veterans Assistance Commission of Will County. What's on the agenda is confirming the appointment of attorneys for the executive board. That's much different. So if your intention is to act on this agreement, I would ask, where on the agenda is this agreement listed? Because I could not find it on your agenda anywhere, and I would urge you to table that matter and do it properly. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
No apology? Special.
So my name is Raj Pillai, alternate delegate to the Plainfield American Legion. So I took you guys to court today, and I think everyone here knows this. The reason was that 9 out of 10 members that are sitting here are not only not delegates, you are also not eligible to be on this board because you're not delegates. And the judge looked at it, he denied the motion without prejudice. I want to explain that here to the audience. That means that it's neither here nor there. The only reason he denied it was because he wanted to enjoin the commission and the county onto that lawsuit. Now the county is most likely going to withdraw from that because there's a decision that separates the county from the VAC. Grundy versus VAC, I think, is the decision if you want to look that up. Anyways, there's also another piece of this that relates to the agenda tonight. The court also notes that any action taken by defendants, you guys, may be declared void, among other things, if the court ultimately concludes that said action was not authorized, meaning your ineligibility to be on the board. So, my point is, you guys have a lot of attention on you right now, a big spotlight. Edgar County Watchdogs is on you guys. I think they've taken down probably about 400 government officials if you look on their information. Look, guys, I've been fighting like hell. I'm tired. I'm appalled as a veteran. This issue happened in Plainfield where in our Legion some money was given away. I fought that. I'm fighting like hell right now, and people say, hey, you're not supposed to mention your campaign. I'll say it right now. I'm running for county treasurer, and I'm proud of it because this is the exact thing that I want to stop. How much is it going to take you guys before you guys, part of our government, stops giving away our money? It's not your money, it's the taxpayers' money. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Kraft. I want to address the non-authority of Denise Williams and the Gold Star Mothers of America, Department of Illinois, lack of any authority to appoint anyone to this commission. First is, there's a 25% rule that became effective August 20, 2021. That means on January 1st, 2022, if she was not appointed since then, or even if she was, she had to have 25% membership living in Will County. And the current law also, it doesn't take effect in January 2023. Current law, it's been in law for decades, says the term military veterans organization as used in this act shall mean those organizations formed by and for military veterans. The Gold Star Mothers was not formed by veterans. It was formed by veterans' mothers. It was never formed by veterans. She doesn't have 25% membership in Will County. She has never been able to sit on this board, and that organization has never been able to appoint somebody to the board. That changes January 1st, 2023, to remove that part by and for veterans. But it's been there for decades. She knows it. That's why she's got that smirk on her face. Here's a copy of the printed statute. Last meeting, Denise, you mentioned that Ms. Cope abstained from voting. She didn't abstain at all. She voted in favor of it twice. On 18 February, unanimous vote. Cope is listed in that. There's a copy on the Will County Board. The Will County, well, that was February 18 on the same day, the committee, the CARES Act Funding Committee, she also voted in favor of the grant to the VAC. It's recorded right here on the county board's minutes and that committee's minutes. You should be ashamed of yourselves for lying to the public. The other items, I mean, they're too numerous to mention all the misinformation that was put out by Denise. I mean, it's ridiculous. You should quit just for what you said at the last meeting. Can I get some more time, please?
Motion for more time.
All in favor?
Aye. Somebody needs to second it.
Second first. Got a second on that?
Second.
No second? Denied.
Did we hear a second from the crowd?
Yes.
Thank you.
Continue.
The bylaws have to comply with state law. You can't have terms, and you could never have terms, for members of the executive committee that exceed the term of actual delegates. It's ridiculous. I mean, what would people say if President Trump said, well, hell, I'm the past president. Let me stay in the White House and start disagreeing with all your executive decisions there, Joe. That wouldn't happen. And it doesn't happen here with past presidents either. It shouldn't. Past presidents should never get a vote on this commission unless they're designated as a delegate or alternate by VSO. The law changed with 25% in August of last year. That's when it became effective. There was no grandfather clause for somebody that was already appointed to the board 10 years ago. It's not in the statute. It became effective for the 25%. We all know the 40 and 8's not eligible. In order to sit, a voting member or not, of this commission, the very first thing, you have to be appointed or selected or appointed as a delegate or
by a veteran service organization that's eligible to appoint people. And that includes tonight when you take up the decision to appoint officers again. If you have not been this year appointed as a delegate or alternate to a VSO, you can't get selected or nominated for a position. Just because your bylaws you might have granted yourself that authority in the bylaws, that means nothing. Bylaws have to comply with state law. State law, you must be a delegate or alternate. I mean, it's not that hard to understand. They get selected annually. If you weren't selected in 2022, guess what? You're not. You're not authorized to sit here. And the court will figure that out sooner or later. I have, that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William Sutton. I'm the delegate for the Plainfield American Legion. I want to start off by saying the gentleman that last meeting read off saying that Lisa wasn't voted in. June 14th, the last full commission, and you guys are voting today to approve those meeting minutes. If you look in there, she was voted. She was approved. She followed the bylaws as the board did. The board followed the bylaws for that. So that part I just want to let you know you're wrong. Denise, you yourself was wrong on a lot of other things. And the best part is I didn't have to do anything because your fair partner, Wayne Horn, did it for you with Wayne's word. When he stated himself that everybody up there has to be elected or appointed by federally chartered veteran organizations.
I didn't say that.
It's in your words. Here you go. You want your article? Read it.
Let him talk.
So I have the article. If anybody wants to see it, it's right here by Wayne Horn. I'll gladly show you where in his own words he says it. Also, I'm not going to get into the money. Never have since I've been up here. The only thing I care about is those of you representing and trying to make decisions as an executive committee for the board. That's not how this works. I told you and I pointed it out last time. According to your own bylaws, which sometimes you all want to follow, you cannot make decisions for the commission without a simple majority. Our numbers would be 18 delegates. That's what it is. When you did the roll call, you said, who's the delegate for this post? Who's the delegate for that post? I didn't see some of y'all raise your hands or say here. I saw Amanda and Janet do it. Didn't see the rest of you, and I believe Mr. Singh, or sorry, gentleman over there. But most of y'all didn't raise your hands. So if 18 delegates have to be used for a simple majority to make these decisions, such as hiring a superintendent, making decisions in a closed session, which I'm telling you right now, I will be at that closed session because I am allowed to as a delegate and a voting member of this commission. You guys are doing all these superintendents, proposals to change the bylaws, proposals to change the judge advocate, nomination of officers. You're doing all this stuff for what? For what reason? There's no reason when you guys know, and it's been pointed out in your own bylaws and in the Military Veterans Assistance Act, that you're wrong. 48 is not fairly chartered. The auxiliary is not fairly chartered. I'd like to petition for more time, please.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Okay.
Thank you, sir. There's one name.
Opposed.
Two names. There's two names.
Okay.
Just for the record. But here's the best part. The only reason I got those names is because I'm telling them the truth.
You're boring.
I'm boring you. You suck. So, yep, I said it.
You already
done.
Wayne.
So,
What you can do about it?
I would like to also read this. I am not one to attack anybody as a Gold Star mother. I respect Gold Star mothers. I love Gold Star mothers. I have a shitload of them. I respect nothing about it. But I have Gold Star mothers that have something to say. and I like to read it. To whom it may concern, I write this on the 21st anniversary of the attacks of this country, September 11, 2001, the day that inspired my then very young son to join the military, to follow multiple family members in the service of his country. I am a wife, I am a daughter, I am a business owner, I am a community member, I am a friend, and I am a neighbor. But my most important titles are mother and grandmother. But the title that brings me the most pride and sadly the most pain is Gold Star Mother. My 19-year-old son, Marine Corps son, was killed in Afghanistan almost 12 years ago. Working as I do in the human service industry, I am heavily invested in the safety and well-being of this country's military veterans. And I believe that we owe them a debt that is underestimated and underappreciated by most Americans. Their physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual health is of utmost importance, and the cost of these things is enormous, by one that we should happily and gratefully pay. When I heard of the gross mismanagement of funds allegedly being perpetrated by Denise Williams, a Gold Star mother herself, I was disgusted, angered, disappointed, and saddened, to say the very least. Every day, we as Americans, but most especially Gold Star mothers, should do all that we possibly can to care for those who have served our country and fought beside our children. The ones who are there to comfort them, to love them, and to hold their hand as they lay dying. We honor our sons and daughters by caring for the men and women they fight with and died beside. To deflect money that was and is meant for our veterans and give it unfairly and without due process to an acquaintance or friend, and then to profit from it, is the worst kind of dishonor I can think of. The shame that a Gold Star parent should feel as such an act is something that I cannot even imagine putting my family, friends, community, or country through. To bring honor to my son is something I strive for every day. To make him proud of me. My heart literally aches at the thought of dishonoring him or any of the veterans who have already given so much. As Gold Star mothers, should we be held to the same standard as any other mother or father? Absolutely not. We should be held to a higher one. And I believe that. And I know that truly, within your heart, you do too. We all need to make these changes. Now is the time to make these changes. It's not going to get easier. We are not going to stop. We are not going away. Thank you.
Hello, most of you know me. I don't really need this. My name's Dan Miller. I'm just a veteran. For Mr. Sutton, what you just said from that Gold Star mother was very important, but I'm going to remind everybody here, the word allegedly is just that. It's an opinion. Allegedly means that there's no proof either way. So having a feeling about something allegedly is just that, not knowing all the facts. And we all do it. I do, you do, we all do. I'm going to tell you something about my personal level in dealing with this board. Denise Williams, specifically, is a Gold Star mother. That woman lost her son in combat for this country. He was fighting for the right for what we're doing right here and right now. And when we start throwing Gold Star mother around, we start disrespecting all of them, not just her. We want to argue about money, we argue about money. We want to argue about Robert's rules and how things should be done, that's great. Gold Star mothers have nothing to do with it. They paid the price. To every veteran in this room who's fought in a foreign land and lost friends and brothers, or anybody here who's lost a family member, you know what it feels like to lose. But none of that is comparable to losing your son or your daughter. We can disagree, and we will continue to do so until the investigation is over and the facts are laid out on a piece of paper. But please, please, leave the Gold Star mothers out of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've been up here before. My name's Jim Lanham. I've obviously asked you guys many times before for wasting that $500,000 that you all should resign. That was money spent on something useless, something stupid, money that could have helped people. You also should resign for being ineligible, but mostly you guys should resign for the childish way you speak to people, give them dirty looks, acting childish like that. That's very beneath what this board should be. You serve us taxpayers. We don't serve you. So you guys should resign. Thank you.
How you doing? I'm Robert M. Dillon, post 935. All right, I'm new to this, and I've been trying to watch. If this is public comment, I believe the board's supposed to be listening to public comment. I sit up front where I can watch body language. All I see is board having conversations in between themselves. I don't believe the board is paying attention to what the public's saying. Because we've had a meeting and we said that we're going to have delegates help with bylaws. Now all of a sudden we're amending bylaws, no delegates were asked to help. But you've agreed to help the delegates. Can you answer why? That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisa McGlasson. I've been here before as well. I'm a Cold War Army veteran. I'm also the judge advocate. As Mr. Sutton pointed out, properly appointed judge advocate, which makes me an officer of the board. No, I'm not a voting member of the board. No, I'm not a member of the commission. I don't need to be either of those to provide advice and guidance to the board and to the commission regarding the OMA, regarding the MVAA, regarding Robert's rules, regarding all of these meetings. Unfortunately, I've been stopped from doing that. The first time I saw the papers that were on the back table tonight was on the back table tonight. You would think that a board that properly appointed a judge advocate would ask for that judge advocate's input with regard to the agenda, so they could at least cite the correct statute. Can't even get that part right. I pointed out, they don't change it. I haven't been announced or called for roll 5-6 meetings now. Just like I'm not there. I'm at the table. So I'm here because it's the only place that you listen to me. Because I have 3 minutes and you have to listen to me. I want to remind you that allegedly, or wherever he went, also applies to this board. They are allegedly board members, but many of you know that you haven't got the proper pedigree, the proper paperwork to prove it. You just keep saying it. It would be real easy to just put this to bed and be done and move forward by just demonstrating that you were properly appointed under one of the legal statutes that allows it, under one of the provisions that allows you to sit here. And if not, and you still want to participate, and you want to do something other than play solitaire over here, sit down here at this front row and participate and get somebody to nominate you properly and then come back on the board. Nobody's telling you you can't do that. Nothing says you can't do that. You're just so obstinate that you are veterans fighting veterans. I wasn't in the Pentagon on 9/11. I worked at the FAA. I drove past the burning Pentagon. I went into work every morning smelling. We all know what that smell is on the metro. And I thank all of you who joined the military after 9/11 because you stepped up. And all of you here on the table are disrespecting them by yelling at them, by sitting here playing solitaire, by smirking every time they say something. I'd like 1 more minute.
Motion.
Second. Thank you.
Continue.
So to look at your agenda this evening, you can't direct a staff member to enter into a retainer agreement. That's not a legal option. You do not have a staff member that has the authority to do that. You've not named a superintendent. You had an acting but you took him out of that role. You've not named the superintendent. No one in the staff has the authority to sign a legal document on behalf of the board. Mr. Piccolo can sign it if he chooses to. The commission could approve it, but you can't direct anybody on the team to do that. Nobody has that authority. You're going to recall me. I know that's coming. You're going to get rid of the judge advocate and pay a lawyer to do it. That's fine. But I want to remind you that the MVAA says, and I'm reading from the legislative intent, because that's where I go when I look at laws. What did Congress mean when they said it? They said this act is to be construed so that the Veterans Assistance Commission shall provide needed services to eligible veterans. For the last 6 months, we've done everything but that in these meetings. Folks in the office are working their asses off in the office. Jack probably knows that. Jim knows that. I've seen you guys in the office once in a while. The rest of you, never seen you in the office. We called out this weekend for somebody to go to the Lockport Military History event. Hey, volunteers, come talk to vets. Help them come in and get help. What if they're struggling? We're in the middle of a financial crisis. You know who volunteered? I'm the only one. Nobody else volunteered to attend that. None of the board members said, I'll give up an hour. Remember, we're here to provide needed services to eligible veterans. You're not here to spend money on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments? This will conclude the public comment section. I would like now to take this time to address some of the items of information to the Commission. According to the MVAA, a VAC must have participation delegate forms submitted by at least half of the eligible veteran service organizations of a county. There are 24 such organizations in Will County. Due to the circumstances beyond the control of this board, we are not able to verify when many of the delegate forms were returned. Some of the forms have been received after the March 31st deadline, but there is no way to confirm they are original submissions or resubmissions. The board is excited that many are interested in stepping up and becoming involved in the VAC. And in the interest of inclusivity and fairness, do not feel justified in turning away any interested in otherwise eligible participation due to the lateness of forms received by the Commission. For this reason, we are counting 14 of the forms currently in our possession. Furthermore, we are taking steps to ensure the proper recording and maintenance of delegate forms in the future. Once we are finished with this process, we will advise the Commission. However, our bylaws and the rules of the Act require only a single vote for each unit, post, camp, or chapter. Since Tom Milnick was elected as a board member while serving as a delegate for Plainfield AL 13, he is the current delegate from that unit.
Point of order. Are you recognizing me, Mr. President?
You can recognize.
Thank you. Tom Milnick is not the delegate. He was not appointed by the commander of Plainfield American Legion. There is nobody up there that can take that away from the commander's position. I am the delegate of the Plainfield American Legion Post 13, not Tom, under his own admission. So that should not happen at all. He does not have the voice of the Plainfield American Legion.
Thank you.
Are you going to decide yes or no?
And all my
This
forms
is
turn
according
in.
to our bylaws, Article 5, Section 5, and Article 7, Section 4. Plainfield AL13 submitted their change to their delegate form after March 31st deadline, and since Tom is currently serving as an executive committee, we recognize him as a delegate from the unit until the next forms are due March 31st, 2023.
The original was filed before the deadline. It had Raj on it and James Castanetti. Raj Palau was the delegate. I got a copy right here.
Okay, I read out my statement. Our next item is minutes of the previous meeting.
Tom is not the delegate or our Plainfield post, period. He's not the delegate.
Point of order. Article 5, Section 7, should any delegate or alternate be disqualified or unable to serve, the post organization camp or chapter shall, upon notice of the disqualification or inability, immediately notify the executive board and call for a vote at the post for a replacement to be appointed prior to the next commission meeting.
Which I was appointed at the very next commission meeting by the commander, per the Military Veterans Assistance Act.
We were not notified of the reason why he was dismissed.
I did notify you, it's on your meeting minutes. And if he would like to speak up, he can testify to it himself. Why I am the delegate and not him.
Out of order.
What about the Gold Star mother who didn't
Out
submit
of
hers
order.
until July?
Next agenda item.
Point of order, Jack. We'd like to solve this situation here with the individual. That's all we
I just
want.
gave you our
My name is
decision.
Mike Dean. And I'd just like to know if he is or if he isn't. Or what is the agenda here? We want to make sure everybody up there is legally up there.
No, it's not.
He's not. He's
And how come Tom Millick is not written down as the delegate in your agenda here, in your own agenda?
And most of you guys on that board don't have forms. You're contesting someone that doesn't have a form. Most of you guys don't have forms. Doesn't make you delegates either. So we can.
He's about to call point of
Point of order, please. That's it.
Somebody needs to iron it out. You guys
We're at the minutes of the previous meeting. Our next item on the business tonight is approval of our minutes from the previous meeting. In 14th June, 12th July, 9th August, special executive meeting, August 29th, special executive meeting, September 1st, closed session, March 22nd. Is there a motion? March 30th.
Question?
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting?
Question?
You have to make a motion in a second, and then we can attend to questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the 14th of June, 2020 minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Second, okay.
Janet.
Jack, I have a point of order here for this person that cannot.
We are in a motion right now.
You still have your comments?
Yes.
Go ahead.
For the person, like as this gentleman was saying, for the person that has no voting or anything, you guys have me listed as the judge advocate on your June 14th agenda.
We also have, under C, we have listed that, I actually suggested that Lisa and Jack go through the resumes since they're both non-voting members. So whether she's a judge advocate or not is not the issue.
No, you have me listed as the judge
Listed?
advocate.
Where?
June 14th. It says William Sutton, judge advocate, present.
Thank you for pointing that out, Wayne. It is one of the many reasons that I am going to request that the June 14th minutes are not accepted at this time. They are inaccurate in many regards. So we do have a recording online, and we do not have written minutes at this time. So I don't know how best to address this.
Well, so we always make a motion in the affirmative, so we will all vote no if we don't accept them.
Okay. And I'm saying that this is one of the many reasons to not accept minutes from June 14th, they are still inaccurate, and
So if you're
I
appointed.
don't think it's in anybody's best interest to have inaccurate minutes posted.
Can we call the questions?
Roll call vote, please.
Secretary Denise Williams, nay. Sergeant at Arms Amanda Cook.
No.
Captain Jim Singler. Member Tom Milnick.
No.
Member Janet Blue.
No.
Member Steve Beneke.
No.
Past Chair Wayne Horn.
No.
Delegate Robert Angone.
No.
Delegate Keith Carberry. Delegate Jim Clausen.
No.
Does Plainfield not get a vote?
Where's the rest of the roll call?
Motion fails.
Can't do a roll call all the time.
Yes.
We need to have motion to approve the minutes from the July 12th, 2022 minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Need a second? Jim Singler.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for similar reasons, I'd like to, I don't believe that passing the minutes from the July 12th meeting, again, they are inaccurate in many regards. Again, we have the recording online, but I, as the secretary, am not accepting the minutes for the 12th of July 2022 meeting.
Any other discussion?
I have a question. These minutes were literally put in front of the commission.
Delegate, sir, please.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Raj, what were you going to say? I'll say it. Say it to me, I'll say it. Because on July 12th, it says I'm the delegate.
I can't answer the question.
Yes, you are a delegate, right? Well,
Okay, so my question is, these minutes were put in front of us literally about 20 minutes ago. The commission hasn't had a chance to review these minutes. I'd like to actually have a chance to review the minutes and not gun back the process and have us review minutes that we haven't had a chance to review. These minutes should have been provided to us beforehand. This is the first time we're seeing them. So that's what I wanted to say. So I would like to at least move to not approve these minutes now until the commission has had a chance to review them. So please table that motion.
My apologies if staff did not send these out, and I like that you brought up that point. So what I would like to do, I don't even think I have to make a motion, I believe it's just going to be up to our president to move the agenda minutes to the end of the meeting. Would that make you more comfortable, or do you want to wait for a further meeting?
I think we should maybe wait for a further meeting. I think that'd be more reasonable.
Okay, I will make a motion to table these minutes until further meeting. Motion to postpone?
This isn't a staff function.
Here we have a motion, postpone, second.
That's the board secretary function. But the board secretary failed.
Excuse me. I did send minutes out weeks and weeks ago.
To the commission?
Yes, I did.
To the entire
No,
commission?
No,
To the board.
not to the commission, to the board, weeks
Okay,
ago.
and we still have to postpone.
Okay.
Because this
I'm
is a
just-
full commission meeting.
You mentioned the staff, and it wasn't the staff. I actually did my job and sent it to you guys. and I just
Okay,
wanna
but
make
my
sure
full
that that's
commission
duly
doesn't
noted.
have the minutes, so thank you.
So the executive committee didn't forward it to the full commission.
The executive committee chairman and the secretary.
So we got a motion and a second, postpone.
for the executive committee? Which one?
Well, in twofold, sir.
Because we didn't vote. So I'm just making sure you say it correctly. We did not vote. The commission did not vote. The committee might vote, but the commission didn't.
We were also handling the internal investigation.
So you're double dipping? You're acting as their advisor, their legal advisor.
I'm not, no. Just to be clear on the record, I am not their legal attorney.
So then why are you giving them legal advice?
I'm the commission, so I'm
part of the commission.
I'm not giving them legal advice in any other lawsuit.
You've been telling him this whole time what to say. I'm right here listening to you.
Yes, and
So you just admit you're giving legal advice.
well, maybe if you understood the law, sir.
Oh,
What I'm explaining is, acting as a parliamentarian, you can provide direction and what motions to make. They make whatever motions they want. That's for the commission.
So where's the commission?
If you understood the law, you'd realize they have no authority to hire you. The entire commission has the authority, not them guys.
And Will, as the Illinois judge advocate at the Illinois level, you are a parliamentarian as well, correct?
Yeah.
So you do know
Yeah, I know the law.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe.
What meeting was the attorney appointed? Can anybody tell us that?
June. Was the full commission in June?
Yes.
For the investigation, the commission.
Yeah, the motion to postpone, we have discussion. We postpone the executive. That's the proper procedure.
They don't follow.
The commission as a whole. Wait, you can vote on it now. You can motion to postpone. The commission can vote on the motion to postpone the meeting so that the commission as a whole can review the minutes. You can call the roll. Call the question.
Okay. Roll call vote.
President Jeff Bigelow. Sorry. Secretary Denise Williams, no. We are voting, the motion we are voting on is to postpone the acceptance of the minutes of the 12th July 2022 meeting.
No, I thought it was all.
For all of them?
Yes.
All.
That was the motion.
Okay. I stand corrected. The motion is to postpone the acceptance of all of the minutes. That includes 12 July 2022, 09 August 2022, special executive meeting 29 August 2022, special executive meeting 1 September 2022, closed session of 30 March 2022. The motion is Koch and Singler, roll call vote. I, Denise Williams. Sergeant at Arms, Member Cook.
Yes.
Chaplain Jim Singler.
Yes.
Member Tom Milnick.
Yes.
Member Janet Clue.
Yes.
Member Steve Beneke.
Yes.
Past Chair Wayne Horn.
Yes.
Delegate Robert N. Bone.
Yes.
Delegate Keith Carberry.
Yes.
Delegate Jim Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
What about the rest of them? There's more here than just that. I got a delegate over there that needs to vote.
That's cool. I get it.
Motion carried.
You called him in the roll call, but you don't call him to vote. I
So
don't
we're
get
not,
it.
we're not voting.
Next agenda item, superintendent report.
They don't get a vote.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The award log, last month on August 9th, I reported that we had new awards, estimated around $3.4 million in new awards. As of today's date, we're up to $4.2 million. And that's what I have for the award log. Any questions?
No questions?
Project 150, emergency shelter. To date, we've spent $138,739.10. We have $11,260.90 remaining from ESG. When that runs out, we then have FEMA that we can start using. Shelter, $350. Electric, $263.70. Personal products, $125. We had 3 veterans fall off who reached their maximum 6 month. Any questions? That's all I have.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
I'll make a motion to approve the report.
Roll call vote.
Second.
Oh, wait, son, I really don't get a vote, and I'm the delegate.
She didn't hear you.
No, she did, because I just watched the man and tell it was me that said the second.
So you said second?
I did say second.
Yeah, you did.
You heard it.
Then you asked.
You asked the delegate. Why?
You said, say it again? Say that again, please? I couldn't hear you. You said Pillai's the delegate? Okay, Raj, you're the delegate.
So I didn't get to vote last time, and we moved on, so now I get to vote this time,
Yeah.
I guess. So
You've been the alternate this whole time. I've been the delegate. Now it's good.
I'm confused, but if Plainfield is now finally getting a vote, is this still a vote for moving forward with tabling the minutes, or are we moving on to something else?
We're looking for a second for this motion.
Okay, second.
I have a question. Since you keep saying that they're not delegates, how come on our minutes for September 13th, it has William Sutton and Raj as delegates in our minutes? That's what our minutes say. I mean, this is why I told you, I've been sitting there quiet, never paying attention, and everything jumps around back and forth. Just like you had the decision, you didn't know how to figure the vote, and I said the president don't vote. That was my first meeting, that I knew it was going to be kind of messed up. But that's what I said, in your minutes, it mentions Will and it mentions Raj. But now you say he ain't delegates. I'm confused.
Doesn't fit their agenda.
They need somebody else's vote during the rest of the meeting. That's why. And they know it. And they know they don't have delegate forms submitted all year or last year, but they're sitting there anyway.
Roll call, please.
We are voting on the acceptance of the superintendent's report. A motion was made by Cook, second Pillai, who as a delegate for Plainfield American Legion has a right to participate in the commission meeting.
Hey, Raj, you the delegate?
I'm an alternate delegate, and that's the primary delegate.
Is your delegate here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
No.
He's right there.
Your alternate.
He is the alternate.
You're acting as the delegate then. That's fine.
He is the alternate. Per our forms.
Guys, I have the forms right here. 9 out of 10 of you guys are not on these forms.
Vote, please.
You guys are not on these forms, so you're arguing forms for him and I.
But they have me listed as
Sergeant at
delegate this
Arms.
whole time.
And she can't even get appointed anyway.
Yes. Chaplain Jim Singler.
Yes.
Member Tom Milnick.
Yes.
Member Janet Boo.
Yes.
Member Steve Beneke.
Yeah.
Past Chair Wayne Moore.
Yes.
Where's your delegate form?
Delegate. Robert Engel.
No.
You're voting no to accept the superintendent's report, not to accept the superintendent's report?
No, not until we get up and settled, we keep jumping around. I'm gonna be a pain. I want this, we gotta settle one thing before we move on to the next. But no, we can't, we're jumping from here to here to avoid this part here. All right, you're supposed to follow it in order. Now, you should have never jumped on the superintendent report until after we finished the delegate part. That's what I'm voting, why I'm voting no. You didn't finish one, but move on to another. This just jumps and jumps, nobody ever follows. You got your agenda there. You gotta follow your agenda, 1, 2, 3. You gotta get one, finish with one before you go on to 2. Or 1, 2, 3.
Discussion should be.
What?
You gotta
It's a
know.
call the roll. Sorry.
Delegate Keith Carberry.
Yes.
Delegate Jim Clausen.
Yes.
One abstention. Yes.
What about 13, AL 13?
Right. Okay. Motion accepted. Next agenda item. Old business. Under old business, our first item is confirming the appointment of Peterson, Johnson, and Murray as the executive board attorneys, retroactive to August 4th, 2022, and to direct the staff to enter into an agreement for legal services.
Motion to table.
We'll have a discussion among the commissioners, please.
Yes,
We're gonna make the motion,
Okay.
motion to discuss, is that what?
you gotta make a motion and a second before you can discuss.
Okay, motion to discuss.
No, just for a point of clarification, it's a motion to approve the agenda item in a second, and then there's discussion about that agenda item.
That's fine,
Just so the record's clear.
that's fine. I just want to get to the discussion, so we can do that.
So motion to accept. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Junior.
So can we have the discussion now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I would say. So I think I want to speak about, so there's a lot of items on this agenda. Some of you guys weren't in court. Mr. President, you were in court today with me and our attorneys. So the judge is concerned that until the decision, he makes a final decision, that he's concerned about this commission or this board expending monies. So I would like to, it'll make life a lot easier if we table all of these items where monies are being expended, these retainer agreements. Even the superintendent appointment, that's an expenditure of monies. Remember what I said in the public comment. If it just so happens that the judge ends up ruling against you guys will end up being in a lot of trouble if we continue this meeting in this fashion. Because every single agenda item almost that is coming up involves an expenditure of monies. You don't want to put yourself in that position, guys. I'm just kind of imploring you, let's table these agenda items that have these implications until a different time.
Is that a motion to table?
So I would say motion to table.
We've already got a motion on the table.
And we have a motion to table.
Motion to table this item.
It's a second, and then you can have.
Anyone second?
No, we've already had a motion and a second.
I have a second to
Discuss it
table.
and vote
This
on
is
it.
another motion.
Got a second to table right there.
Got a second?
You have a motion and a second on a motion to table.
Yeah. He's second.
I said a motion and a second. I'm sorry. I did say motion and a second, just so we're clear. So it's a motion and a second to table.
Robert, that was your second?
Yes, so now there's discussion on the motion to table because that's a superseding.
Correct.
So,
Did you say call the question?
No, a discussion on the motion to table is
I
what I
thought
said.
the chairman said call the question.
I have a question. If we've made a motion and we've not had a second, and there's been discussion, whatever the discussion is, don't we have to vote on that motion? And if it's
a
all no?
motion to table or a motion to
No,
postpone?
the motion that was made
One
was...
second. Just let me finish. I understand what you're saying. There was a motion to approve, ratify the retainer agreement on Roman numeral 8, subpart A. Then there was a second, and then there was discussion, but the delegate, or the gentleman, I'm sorry, Mr. Palage?
Raj Palage.
Raj Palage, pardon me if I mispronounced it, made a superseding motion to postpone or table. Postpone, I believe he said, correct?
To table, yes.
But they're
Which is-
slightly different,
yeah.
but they're superseding motions. So that means you have to address that motion before going
Oh, I see.
to a vote. So if the vote succeeds, it's a superseding vote, and that would be tabled, that item would be tabled. If it fails, then you go back to discussing and voting on that other motion.
I see, thank you.
I do have a comment on the motion table. According to James Glasgow's letter dated July 27, 2022, entitled Legal Representation, if the VAC so desires, it also has the option to request funding from the county board to retain the services of a private attorney to address these pre-existing issues that were not previously disclosed to the state's attorney's office. So they've authorized us to expend the money.
No, that's not what that letter says.
Oh, I got the letter right here. That's
The
what I-
appellate court said something completely different.
Never mind. I'm just going by what the letter says.
You have the right to
Point of order,
request.
I am an attorney, and I can tell you that those English words are very simple to understand. What they said was, you may go ask the county for money. I'm barred in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
It doesn't matter.
But for this, it really doesn't matter where I got my degree.
You may request it.
You may
Are you a
request
commission
from
member?
Will County.
No, but you're still talking.
I was talking first.
That's a
and
good-
You didn't have the floor.
You're not a commission member.
You're still not a commission member.
Where's
Yeah,
your
but-
bill?
Request such funds, not take them from the homeless veterans. It doesn't say that. That's what you're
We got
doing.
discussion,
You're
we
taking
got
from
to vote on
homeless
whether
veterans.
to table.
This old man right here in front, in the center.
I'm done. Sure.
Okay. We have a motion to table.
Are you looking for a second to the motion?
No, there's already a
I got
second.
second, we were looking for a vote.
So,
Any further discussion? If
Any
not,
further discussion?
Any,
So the vote now is on the motion to table confirmation of the appointment of Peter Johnson and Murray.
Right.
Denise Williams, secretary. No. Sergeant at Arms Amanda Cook.
No.
Chaplain Jim Singler.
No.
Member Tom Milner.
No.
Member Janet Thu.
no,
Member Steve Bennigan.
no.
Vice Chair Wayne Horn.
No.
Do we have the budget for this?
we're voting right now. We finished.
Letter said you can ask for the money, but you don't have it, do you?
Delegate Robert Angone.
Yes.
Delegate Keith Carberry.
Yes.
Delegate Jim Clausen.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's voted.
What about AL 13?
We keep missing Plainfield. I would say, me and Will would both say yes to this.
No. Okay,
Are you skipping him again?
7-3. Milnick is,
But
You
he's
just
not.
skipped him again.
I was never told that I am no longer
Good
delegate.
job.
All I, well, I.
You don't have to be told. They don't have to have a reason.
the motion fails.
So now you go back to the original.
We'll go back to the original motion.
The original motion was, motion made by Amanda Cook, seconded by Janet Thu, to confirm the appointment of Peterson, Johnson, and Murray as the Executive Board's attorneys, retroactive to August 4th, 2022, and direct staff to enter into a retainer agreement. Denise Williams, yes.
Roll call.
Amanda Cook.
Abstain.
Chaplain Jim Singler. Member Janet Thu.
Yes,
Member Tom Milnick.
Yes.
Member Steve Bennigan.
Yes.
Past Chair Wayne Horn.
Yes.
Delegate Robert Angone.
No.
Delegate Keith Carberry.
No.
Delegate Jim Clausen.
Yes.
Point of order, can we reestablish quorum?
What about
We need to
AL 13?
reestablish
Where's their
quorum
vote?
Because during the vote, a member left the room, so you need to reestablish quorum,
You voted
She
sustained.
voted.
but she's not.
That doesn't mean you don't.
So we finish this vote first?
Yeah, ask AL 13 where their votes are.
Finish the
Not here
vote.
through
Dinner.
this.
Yes. One abstention.
Tom don't have a vote. AL 13 does.
Could you repeat that, please? I didn't hear.
6 yes, 1 abstention, 2 nay.
Thank you.
Motion carried.
All this can't get overturned.
So, does somebody, we have to raise the point for it.
Thanks for clarification. Jack already signed a retainer, so does staff need to sign it again? It's already been signed.
Ratified effective to August 4th.
How did he sign a retainer?
From June. It's
Okay, from June.
correct? Which has already been signed, so does it need to be signed again?
Subsection B is where.
Okay. My fault. Next item is old business.
For the record, so we just record that on the record that we still have quorum as a member left. Point of order? I did point of order earlier, but nobody. Point of order, please, because a member left the table and left the room, left the meeting, I'd like the record to reflect that we still have quorum in the meeting. So please.
How much is a quorum?
again.
What number is a quorum?
Depends on which part of the
President
bylaw.
Jack Piccolo. Re-establishing quorum. President Jack Piccolo.
Here.
Secretary Denise Williams, present. Amanda Cook, Sergeant at Arms, is left. Chaplain Jim Singler.
Yes.
Member Tom Milnick.
Here.
Member Janet Clue.
Yeah.
Member Steve Beneke.
Here.
Member Wayne Horn.
Here.
Delegate Robert Angone.
Here.
Delegate Keith Carberry.
Here.
Delegate Jim Clausen.
Here.
Yeah, keep reading.
Plainfield?
Again, in case you didn't know how to read, it says Plainfield.
Tom Miller voted.
Tom Milnick ain't a delegate. You're supposed to do a
Delegate,
roll
no,
call.
I'm sorry, I thought I didn't say it. I'm reading too fast. Plainfield American Legion AL 13, delegates or alternates?
Delegates
Are
here.
present.
Delegates here.
Delegates here. Oh, I have the commander right here if you want to ask him who's the delegate. He appointed for the MBAA.
You got the delegate and alternate right here. Williams and Falah.
Alternate. July, present.
Hey, now you're alternate. You just
I mean, I thought I was a delegate, now I'm an alternate. I could be something else in the next 5 minutes.
Hey, I was the judge advocate a couple months ago.
I mean, yes.
Present. Okay.
Who's the delegate?
Next item, B. Our next item of old business,
Chairman,
confirming the
help the public.
appointment of Pat Walsh as the Executive Board Special Litigation Counsel and to direct the staff to enter into an agreement for legal service.
I will make the motion.
I'll second that.
Could you help the public, Chairman?
Discussion.
I have a point of discussion. I'm going to make the same exact point I did to you guys before. There's a case in front of a judge right now, and this is going to be heard. Any decisions that you make, especially expending funds, if they get challenged, you could be personally liable. So you want to make this decision very, very carefully to move this meeting forward, especially when these motions come up. This is the same thing I said earlier. You guys are getting yourself into hot water. I'm just giving you a fair warning.
Excuse me, sir, are you an attorney?
I don't need to be an attorney to tell you that.
You had the floor first. You were talking first. So he's
I don't need need to be an attorney to tell you that.
Wayne, hold it.
Are you an attorney?
Why does he care who's an attorney?
Raj,
You're not-
continue.
So that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, I was at, there is, I understand.
So and I'm doing this to help you guys out. I'd like to table this as well. Otherwise, we're gonna have the floor, sir.
How'd you take the floor?
You didn't have the floor, he had the floor.
I was speaking to the commission, sir. You're not.
You don't have the floor.
Member Wayne.
Shut the trap till he's finished.
You're not.
You know, you gotta pay attention.
He had the floor. The chairman gave him the floor.
So I'm just.
Are you an attorney?
He made his point.
He just said he was done.
Are you an attorney?
He made his point.
Sorry, I just want to say, we need to discuss the budget for this, we're gonna have to ask the county.
I said my point was,
Hey, you have people talking right there. There's somebody talking.
Does someone else have a discussion?
Holy shit.
Thank you. So we need to talk about the budget, we're gonna have it in the minutes to approve, I'm gonna have to go to, well, we have to go to the county to request more money for the budget for the attorney, we don't have it in our current fiscal year. So we need to agree to request.
I have a question then for you. The last couple of meetings, you've been directed specifically to move the money from one line item. We are in a proposed budget situation. You were told to move the money from a line item to professional services. You said that, well, according to what this law was, that could not be done, which is accurate after the budget has been passed by the county. We are still in a proposed budget situation. Is that correct?
So we're talking about this current fiscal year, correct?
Talking about next fiscal year.
So next fiscal year, but we're signing the retainer now that falls into this fiscal year's budget.
I'm asking you specifically.
Next year, we can, yes.
Has it been done?
No, it's not been done because you did not give me a specific amount. It has to be in the minutes for me to bring it to the finance committee to move it.
Yes, you were given a specific amount.
Then we
Executive
should use
committee
that.
can't
I'm
direct
talking
that.
about current fiscal year. If we were signing the retainer today, we have to have money in the budget for this current fiscal year, which we do not. So we have to go to the county and ask for more money.
And we will.
As long as it's in the minutes, I can bring it.
But you do that before you hire somebody.
I am a lawyer, Wayne,
Thank you.
and you
Thank
have to
you.
ask for the money before you can spend it, and as soon as you sign the contract, they can start charging you. And we're still in this fiscal year, and we have no money. And again, if you want to move it out of the homeless veterans fund, you should put that in your newspaper article, that you're moving it out of the homeless veterans fund.
Wait a second, I didn't speak for this group on a newspaper article.
You didn't?
I did not,
Really?
really.
The article's downstairs,
Okay,
right?
come on.
It's
I
in
got
the
it right
lobby.
here.
It's in the lobby, too.
We got a motion and a second on the floor.
You got no budget for it.
You got a motion.
How can we approve this without a budget? I'm just asking this as a commission member. How is that possible?
How can you approve it without knowing what the parameters of the agreement are?
You have to table these motions, guys. It's gonna get you guys in a lot of trouble, I'm telling you right now. This is, and I don't think you understand how serious these matters are.
There's a CPA here, you can ask her.
That's why I'm.
I need a vote. Call the roll. Vote.
Secretary, we are voting to confirm the appointment of Pat Walsh as the Executive Board's Special Litigation Counsel and direct staff to enter into a retainer agreement.
Point of order, please be more specific than staff. Specifically, who is the commission directing to enter into this agreement, and what specific steps are the commission directing the individual to take?
Rawlings votes.
Staff needs a janitor too.
Point of order denied. Let's continue with the vote, please.
Secretary Denise Williams, yes. Chaplain Jim Singer.
Yes.
Member Tom Milner.
No. He ain't got a vote.
You said no?
Yeah.
Member Janet Blue.
Yes.
Member Steve Bennett.
Can I have a point of
Point of order.
Member, Vice Chair Baker.
Yes.
So the retainer agreement refers to the Veterans Assistance.
Delegate Robert Angone.
No.
Delegate Keith Carberry.
No. Okay, you guys are going to discontinue.
It's not on the agenda.
You have to,
Delegate Jim Clausen.
No.
Yes. 5 days.
where's AL 13's vote?
Where's 13, 5 and 3?
Where's AL 13's vote?
Motion carries.
So no vote.
You didn't ask her for a vote. You took a vote from a non-representative and didn't take a vote from the representative. Take a vote from the delegate.
Whether
Tom Milnick is not labeled as the delegate.
No.
He said no, so he voted against the motion.
Tom Milnick is not labeled as the delegate.
You have the delegate forms right here. You want a copy? He is not a delegate. That's a delegate, that's the alternate. You took his vote and refused to vote for both of them. What kind of crap is that?
Voted no.
No
Okay.
further
And
discussion.
your chairman's not even a delegate. You're not a delegate. And you know it.
I'm going to ask you to quiet down, please. In the back, you're not a
Hey,
delegate.
Denise is threatening to have you escorted out. Thought I'd let you know that.
The motion carried. There be no further discussion.
You're not a delegate.
Is there a motion to confirm the appointment of Pat Wall?
No, that's done. That's done. Going on to see.
without a budget.
Without a budget.
Oh my God.
Our next item on old business is the investigation report from EJF. Mr. Lito, anything to report?
Within
This is pretty close to
within confines, this is obviously not an action item, but with respect to the investigation that I am not conducting, but members of my law firm are conducting, just to be clear, they are in the process of interviewing staff and board members, and they're about 50% through that investigation. Once the interviews are completed, thereafter, there will be a written report of the findings of those attorneys who conducted the investigation.
I have a question. Do we have any idea when this investigation will conclude?
It's going to be dependent upon the timing of the interviews and the complete review of the documents in preparation of the report. I would not suspect much longer, but like I said, it's dependent upon that schedule.
So I understand interviews are going to take place the week after next, or maybe the end of next week. So after the interviews are concluded, how much time after that do you expect?
I don't have that answer. And you're assuming that they're completed, so.
Right. Well, obviously, we're all very anxious to hear the outcome of the investigation. So I think at the next meeting, it would be really good to have some kind of timeline. If we have,
Understood.
if that is considered. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is a progress report from the Will County Auditor. Mr. Blackburn, is he here?
No, I spoke with Kathy today. They were not aware that they were on the agenda, and they don't have anything to report. She said that they were not contacted or requested to be here.
Nothing to report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next agenda item, new business. Under new business, our first item is to adopt an amendment to the bylaws for the commission meeting. Discussion among the commission to adopt rules, including 3-minute audience participation.
Are we moving to discussion right now?
Yeah.
Motion to amend.
Okay, so I would motion to amend.
We need a motion first.
In a second, if you're going to have it as a discussion.
No, your discussion, so he can make a motion.
No, you can make, I understand it. I'm just saying it needs to be a motion and a second, and then there can be discussion.
He's trying to make a motion to
propose
amend.
to amend the
He
bylaws.
just said he
to
wanted
make
to
it
discuss. He
public
didn't say
So,
motion. I'm sorry.
Lou, the motion was made by Horn. Would you like to make yours a second?
comment. Sure,
Who made the motion?
Second, now it can be discussed.
now we can talk.
Who made the motion?
Okay, I would like to make a motion to amend to 5 minutes, and I would push it to 1 hour. Because I think limiting it to 3 minutes and 30 minutes, if people have more to say, it's a disservice to them.
So, I have a question for you. I'm not looking at it in front of me, but my understanding is that amendment states that it's 3 minutes per person and 30 minutes total, but that the speaker, or in general, it can be extended at the request of the
Right, but
person.
I don't, but my point is, I don't want that as a status quo. I think that we should be extending it rather than limiting it. I think the point is that I don't want public comment limited. The public should be allowed to speak.
Right. and
Whether
I
we
guess
want to
my-
extend it or not, we can decide it at that time, but I think that given the myriad of issues that we have in this commission, I don't think limiting public comment is of good service to the public. That's my point.
I have a point of discussion. I agree with you that we should extend the public comment. I think we should put a limit on it and add those extensions as they come up. I think what we're suggesting meets exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for an extension. But I think for the benefit of the meeting, we need to put some kind of limit on it so that we can try and control the length of the meeting so people get out at a reasonable time. I think when we fix things like you didn't get the minutes before the meeting, I think that will help it because you'll have time to review the minutes, to bring questions to the commission, whether it's before the meeting or after it. That will help as well. I think once we smooth out some of those administrative housekeeping type issues, that will help. So I do agree with you, but I do think we should put a limit on it with.
I'm always going to say extend it rather than limit it. That's just my opinion because that allows more time for people to speak without them being limited. That's what I'm going to say.
Your motion to amend it to 5 an hour?
And that's my motion. I do have a motion on the floor, I guess. Sir, is that correct?
So you're asking to amend it?
I'm asking to amend the motion to 5 minutes per person and up to an hour total.
Of public comment.
Correct.
Okay, that's a motion to amend. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, can I ask, what are we amending?
So we are amending the proposal to the bylaws to, the motion is to amend the proposal to the bylaws instead of 3 minutes and 30 minutes as the limits that can be extended ad hoc, that they are 5 minutes and 1 hour.
I see, thank you.
Discussion.
No. You have a motion?
Motion.
And I
And a
believe
second.
there was a second.
Yes,
So
second.
this-
Vote.
If there's any discussion on that motion to amend, that's what you have before you.
Roll call vote.
So the discussion, I will say, I will reiterate and state that as much as I want to have as much public comment and input as possible, and I do agree with this as a concept, I'm looking at just simple a matter of time and getting functionality back into this board.
Shut the public up.
So if we can have, there may be many people that would want to have 3 minutes or more. There's no difference. And I guess my last question, my point or my real question is, so do you want to do 5 minutes and 1 hour and it's extendable beyond the 5 minutes? Or are you doing a hard stop at 5 minutes and 1 hour?
I think it could be extendable at the discretion of the president or the board at any time if it's a legitimate board. But
So what's the difference, seriously? What's the difference if it's a 3 minute and to be extended or a 5 minute to be extended? And I'm asking a genuine question. I don't really see
no,
a significant
I
difference.
just, in my opinion, limiting it rather than extending it is a bad idea. Especially given the myriad of issues that we have in the commission right now. I think that limiting folks, especially people have been People have been limited before on their comment, including myself as a commission member. I haven't been allowed to speak, so what makes me think that this executive committee or the commission in general is going to allow me to speak further? So that's my point. It's because of past actions that I'm proposing this and current issues.
So now you the roll call, just so it's clear, this time, Mr. Pelage's motion, Pelage? Pelage, I'm sorry. My apologies. Mr. Pelage's motion to amend. That's what you're voting on right now.
That's what we're
Just so
voting
you're clear
on
on the
right
record.
now.
Secretary Williams? Nay. Jim Singler, Chaplain?
Nay.
Member Tom Milnick?
Nay.
Member Janet Blue?
Yes.
Where's the delegate form?
Member Steve Beneke?
Yes.
Past Chair Wayne Horn?
Read it again.
That the amendment is that we are to amend the bylaws to limit public comments to 5 minutes and 1 hour, rather than as is written, 3 minutes and 30 minutes, and extendable at the discretion of the president and subject to a vote of the board or commission.
For clarification on my vote, because of past experience, I say no.
Only because you didn't agree with what they were saying. That's the only reason you said no. Just for clarification on your.
Member or Delegate Robert Angone.
Yes.
Delegate Pete Carberry.
Yes.
Delegate Jim Clausen.
Yes.
Delegate Palau.
Yes.
Oh, you gotta vote now? He's the alternate, not the delegate.
6. We have 1, 2, 3.
So you got 2 votes from Regulation 13. Jack.
So the motion
For
is
Tom.
amended,
The motion is amended.
so now, you've only amended, now you actually have to vote on the amended based on Mr. Bly's amendment. So if, at this juncture, now you're voting on amending the bylaws to be 5 minutes per speaker with a 1 hour total extendable at the discretion. Because he amended it first, and now you need another motion to vote on the agenda item as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second?
Steve? Second?
Yes.
Okay, we're voting on a motion.
We are voting on the amendment to the bylaws, that it will be 5 minutes, limiting public speaking to 5 minutes, 1 hour total, each of which can be extended at the discretion of, or at the vote of the president, discretion of the president and vote of the commission.
Roll call vote.
Denise Williams, yes. Jim Singler.
Yes.
Tom Milnick.
Yes.
Janet Blue.
Yes.
Steve Beneke.
Yes.
Wayne Horn.
No.
Robert Angone.
Yes.
Keith Carberry.
Yes.
Jim Clausen.
Yes.
Raj Ply.
Williamson says yes.
Raj Ply.
Either of us are going to say yes. I'll say yes.
Unanimous?
Motion
So
passed.
it's not unanimous.
No, I take it, one name.
One name.
It passes.
Motion passed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 9, subpart B.
Right, our next item of new business is the appointment of a superintendent of the Veterans Assistance Commission.
Here's the motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Second?
Who are you appointing?
Two points.
You have to now,
Motion. Yes, it's a motion to appoint Jane Doe, John Doe as.
so now announce it. I need to amend the motion?
You need to make a motion.
I need to restate the motion. So the motion is to appoint Andrea Jordan as the superintendent for the Will County Veterans Assistance Commission. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Now you have a motion and second, you'll need discussion.
Discussion.
Point of order. Mr. President, for the benefit of the commission, can we tell folks a little bit about it?
Well, absolutely, no, that's what the discussion is for, and I'm waiting. I can't write anything down.
Jack?
He has his hand up. This guy.
Got a hand up over there.
Mr. Sutton's got something to say.
Blue sweatshirt. Hey, Raj, just to repeat after me.
Recognize the delegate over here.
Section 12, Article 12, Section 1, they have to give the commission the resume for this person, and a simple majority, which is 50 plus 1, has to approve, not just them. We don't have a quorum to make that decision. If you can repeat that so they'll listen.
Yeah, and
Under their own bylaws.
I don't have to repeat that, guys. We have not seen a single resume as the commission for any of the people that apply for this position. I would say that we would like, as a commission, I don't think that there's any commission member here that's going to say that we shouldn't be looking at these resumes and reviewing them. So I would like an opportunity to at least review the resumes, then have a further discussion before we even bring this appointment to a motion. Because we have not had a chance to even, we don't know who this person is, and we don't know who else applied for the position. So I would motion to table this until that happens, please.
Our bylaws and your MVAA gives that power to me to appoint a superintendent.
No, it doesn't.
It does not.
It does not.
It does not.
Who told you that? Somebody can't read?
I think you have to consult legal counsel before saying stuff like that. This is a huge expenditure of money. How much is the salary for a superintendent per year? It's got to be close to $200,000. This is a huge expenditure of money that we have to take careful consideration into before we decide. And especially,
Through the
again,
process. It was posted.
There's the entire MVAA.
June 24.
Point out to the section that gives you the authority, I appreciate it, and I'll do 500 push-ups tonight if you can find it.
I want to see that one.
Me too.
You don't have that?
Sir, all I'm saying
I
is,
make a motion to adjourn the meeting immediately.
Second.
Just because you're upset doesn't mean you cannot hear the rest of us out. Last I checked, we're all veterans and we can all talk and have a civil discussion, but you guys keep getting upset and walking out in the middle of the meeting. Absolute fucking.
I have another obligation.
So the one not authorized to sit there, motion to adjourn, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
You have an obligation to get off the board.
Second. Roll call.
You're not authorized to be there. Where's your delegate?
you don't have
Voice
it.
vote.
All in favor of the motion to immediately adjourn?
Roll call. No. You have to do a roll call.
You got a roll call that adjournment.
Maybe every time, if you get up and walk out,
I gotta
that's
vote for quorum.
you lost another guy. You have to do a vote. Voice vote.
Show us in the MVAA. I want to do 500 push-ups, please.
That says a lot, but none of us have left until we all had it. In the middle of the meeting.
You got to call for the second on the motion to table before you adjourn.
I know, but we have to go. We need to.
Voice vote.
You had a motion on the table before the motion
All
to
in favor,
adjourn.
aye.
You have a motion.
They were going to continue, they should.
We have a voice vote.
You have a motion on the table.
I believe we need a vote.
I'm leaving. I mean,
What are you waiting for? You're just trying
adjourn the entire, what are you waiting
We are waiting for a voice vote.
On what?
Everybody is talking, and nobody's paying any attention. And this is the reason I'm completely frustrated. You are going to participate in the meeting, wonderful, great. Participate according to the rules.
Why don't you participate according to the rules and step down?
That would be appreciated.
Your job, I'll participate in the meeting.
Why don't you participate according to the rules and step down? You're not authorized to be there.
Okay.
Am I giving you a headache? I'm sorry.
Out of order. Out of order.
Chairman,
Voice vote to,
I'm out of order. I'm out of order, and I will leave. You had a motion on the table. Is there a second before you can do an adjournment? You can't adjourn when you have a standing motion on the floor.
You gotta at least call for a second.
Gosh.
The motion was to table the appointment.
Is there a second?
You can't just ignore his motion.
They will. They ignored the rule on being a delegate,
That's the second time he's called.
because ain't none of them are delegates. And they're still
All I'm asking is let us review the resumes and decide accordingly.
There's no quorum.
Even if the motion fails, you gotta at least ask for a second.
Suggestion? So he is going to leave with us.
What's happening?
They're adjourned.
They're leaving.
I would need to perform and then the meeting has
They leave it to a forum.
Let them two leave.
A quorum is 3, according to your bylaws.
Let them come back. There's still a meeting going on. Current members here need to appoint an acting chairman.
Raj, appointed acting chairman. There ain't been no adjournment. There ain't been no adjournment.
So just to clarify,
Oh, hey,
I'm sorry,
listen.
just to clarify, there's no quorum, therefore we can't continue the meeting. I apologize, Mr. July, we couldn't continue your motion, and the meeting is adjourned.
Why don't you apologize for people sitting on the board when they're not authorized to be there? Like him. He can't even remember the last time somebody appointed him, and we got him on video saying it. He knows he's not a delegate. And then you got another one that said I represent 40 and 8. He doesn't. Why don't you apologize for all that?
I was forced out of Plainfield.
So you were forced out.
Yeah.
So you recognize you're not a delegate or alternate of the Plainfield American Legion.
That's right. Nobody.
So why are you sitting there voting for him? Why are you voting for him?
These guys, they did it so they could get out, they forced me out, and then these two guys showed up without telling me anything about it.
They don't need a reason. They don't need a reason to get rid of you. They do not need a reason to get rid of you. There's nothing in state law that says they have to have a reason.
This is crisis for the lawyers. I mean, the stuff that they did here is beyond comprehension.
You're right, you are.
You said he was forced off. You guys are short. You just admitted you were forced off, so why are you voting?
I voted against it.
I agree that if you were forced off and you're not a delegate, why are you sitting up there?
My tenure is over next month.
No, your 10-year was over when they voted you off as a delegate from the American Legion 13.
I was never told anything about it. You guys showed up.
Yeah, we can probably leave him alone.